Let's move over to the running backs here, and we're going to start with the Browns backfield that we have talked a lot about for the last couple weeks because it was a little difficult to figure out the week 2 touches. We got to see the debut of second-round pick Quinshon Judkins, who, yes, the snap count was low at 26%, but the rushing attempts were high. He got 10 carries basically off the couch. He had 71 total yards. Jerome Ford, 49% of the snaps. Dylan Sampson, just 24% of the snaps. Kevin Stefanski spoke on the idea of Quinshon Judkins potentially being the lead back of this offense.
I thought he did a nice job with what we asked him to do yesterday, Tony. Obviously, get him in here, get a lift, get treatment, see how his body's feeling. But I think he certainly is capable of doing more, and we'll treat it just like we did last week, and in that we'll see how he comes through the week and make those type of decisions as the week goes on.
I mean, listen, Quinshon Judkins was taken to a top 50 pick for a reason. Like, as soon as his legs are ready for it, he is going to be the workhorse back of Kevin Stefanski's rushing attack. The fact that he got this amount of touches on such a low snap rate already, Matthew, says everything.
Yeah, 19 snaps, but 13 touches on those 19 snaps. When he was out there, they were using him as well. Despite the fact that he played just 19 offensive snaps, he led the Browns' backfield in touches and rushing yards in his first game back. We've said this all along, that once he gets the opportunity, he's going to be the starting running back of the Cleveland Browns, and we've seen that backfield have production so far. Now, here's the problem. They play Green Bay this week, right, which I think is probably the best defense in the NFL at the moment, yes. The Packers. So you don't feel great about that opportunity. And then at Detroit, home to Minnesota, at Pittsburgh. It's not like it gets a lot easier moving forward. Having said that, he is a starting running back in the NFL on an offense that I think will be competent. He's available in about 40% of leagues. So it's usually we try to make it over 50%, but it's just he needs to be rostered in 100% of leagues. So just if Quinshon Judkins is somehow available in your league, he's not an artist. He's annoyingly on Jay's team, but Judkins is my number one pickup this week.
Or if you're in a league where the roster manager doesn't know a lot about rookies, send a trade offer and see if you could steal him off a roster, because I think Judkins is going to be really, really good.
Right. Or wait till after this week when he does nothing against Green Bay.
Buy low. Right, that's true. Yeah. Regular Joey said Judkins over Jaylen Warren this week, or are we waiting still? Matthew, I feel like you kind of just answered that one with the Packers defense.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd prefer Jaylen Warren, who I thought looked pretty good against Seattle. Like he was
got to make this exact same decision, regular Joey, in the League of Ourselves.
And what are you going to do?
Well, Tony Pollard's my other running back, so I got to choose two of Pollard, Judkins, and Warren, leaning Judkins on the bench just because of the Packers.
Yeah. Warren looked like Darren Sproles in a couple of plays.
Yeah,
it was
they used
crazy
him
the
smart.
way he was making people miss.
Yep.
Our next running back here, guys, another rookie, Cam Skattebo. He's only 41% available, but still check your league out there. The real thing here, Matthew, is the usage. The 11 carries, he gets the touchdown. He really had one big run in this game, but it didn't matter. It was enough to be effective, and I think the bigger point here just feels like Tyrone Tracy is already slowly being phased out.
Yeah, which is disappointing because, you and I both love Tyrone Tracy, but,
Well, trust Brian Dable. He's made a lot of good decisions.
He has indeed. Either way, regardless of whether we agree with Coach Dayball's decision or not, the fact is like, to the eye test, Skattebo looked just like the more explosive running back. Tracy just wasn't able to get anything going against the Cowboys. Skattebo did, and you mentioned the usage, right? I mean, Tracy didn't touch the ball much. Skattebo had, 13 touches in this one. He handled 71% of the Giants' red zone rushes. He saw the only goal-to-go carry that New York got as well. More snap rate, higher snap rate, more touches, more scrimmage yards in week 2 than Tyrone Tracy. So, I think he's the lead running back of the Giants at the moment. I'll have him ranked higher than Tracy when my rankings come out tomorrow. And he plays the Chiefs this week, which not a great matchup, but again, needs to be rostered in all formats.
Our next one, Jay, Bhayshul Tuten. It's been rookie running back day here on the show. Tuten, the 2 catches he had, that's exactly how Jacksonville needs to use him. Get him in space, make people miss, get up the field. He just brings a different element to this backfield.
Yeah, as you say, his snap rate rose significantly from 6% in week 1 to 26% in week 2, more than doubled his rushing attempts and got some receiving work, to your point. I think that a lot of people saw the Tank Bigsby trade to Philadelphia as a vote of confidence in Travis Etienne. I think it's more of a vote of confidence in Bhayshul Tuten. And I think that between Etienne's injury history, between the fact that Tuten is a guy for this regime, I would make it greater than a 50% chance that Bhayshul Tuten is the lead guy in Jacksonville at some point. It's not that Etienne's been bad so far, and he's fantastic in week 1. I just feel like it's trending towards Tuten's role eventually.
Yeah, he looked great, like shot out of a cannon. And you know why we like the tape so much
Right.
coming out of college.
Elite
And I think
athlete.
you think about Liam Cohen here, the easy comparison, and I think it's a correct one, is that he very easily could be this year's Bucky Irving, a running back that's in a bit of a timeshare at the start of the year, but by the second half of the year takes over this backfield and wins fantasy managers a bunch of titles. Probably not me, but other fantasy managers out there. I do have Tuten in a lot of leagues. I just don't have him in ours. Tuten might have a Bucky Irving situation opening up for him, says Louis Garcia. I just said that, Louis.
The comments are just filled with the Tootler and release the Tootler.
Release the Tootler?
Yes, that's why I'm laughing when you're speaking.
That's
The comments
actually
are
good.
literally just the Tootler.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's
Spamming the chat.
The Tootler, absolutely.
See, all right, that one I'll roll with that.
We're in on the Tootler.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes late at night when I pull the covers up, my wife calls me the Tootler.
Oh, atrocious.
Oh, boy.
I was going to say something else, but I won't. Let's move on.
All right, well, deep league targets.
Saying. We've been here a long time.
Rashad White with the
I'm not getting
game-winning
out of bed.
touchdown.
Screw that.
Oh, man.
When you got a toot, you got a toot.
The Tootler.
Of course.
Rashad White, Matthew?
Yeah, sure.
Is he back
He's a
on the
running
map?
back.
Yep.
He looked good. I thought he looked good last
He
night.
actually did. He actually did.
Spry.
And what's weird is I think some people might, Connor, look at the stat line and go like, whoa,
Right.
whoa, what, Rashad White, what happened here? He's available in 64% of the league. Is he taking over the Bucky Irving role? He's not. Bucky Irving got a ton of work, looked great, but Rashad White got that touchdown.
He got that touchdown, and I'll say this to Rashad White. They like him in pass pro, and I think that look at the end of the game really, really threw the Texans defense off balance where you don't want the clock to keep running. So they were probably thinking, okay, Rashad White's on the field, they're going to throw, he's probably going to block here or run a delayed route. And instead, they surprised them by just handing him the ball. So that was a great play call. I just don't know if that situation will be replicated very often.
But the fact that they trust him so much in pass protection lets you know, like, he's got a role that's not going away. And so we do think he's pretty interesting. I thought Woody Marks looked good in his limited time for the Texans last night as well. Saw a larger role in week 2. Dameon Pierce, a healthy scratch for the Texans. Your boy Najee, double his snap rate from week 1. We're going to talk about that a little bit coming up, with my guy Hampton. Chris Rodriguez. And I'll also say Jeremy McNichols. I think Jeremy McNichols actually is him and Chris Rodriguez. I think both will get more snaps now with Austin Eckler unfortunately out for the year. But both guys I think are sort of interesting in deeper leagues here. And in week 2, Miles Sanders, the ghost of Miles Sanders, got 2 of the 3 Cowboys goal-to-go rushing attempts. We know Javonte Williams has that role locked down, but until we see some Jadon Blue, it feels like Miles Sanders is going to have like at least a role that might be viable in much deeper leagues. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.